Yeah, way too hot. Hey, Elizabeth. Hey, Tammy. Good to see you here. Yes, way too hot to be out in the garden studio. Though, Kaylee, I will tell you, I have been testing in my workspace. I have afternoon sun, and so I have been testing some blackout cloth in there to see if my afternoon videos are better for work projects and to see if it's a little cooler. So I am very likely going to get some more of that to hang out into the garden studio. So thank you for making that original suggestion. I would have never thought to do that, but I found some blackout cloth that I think I can just hang right up and pin up in there and keep it a little bit cooler as we move forward. Hopefully in September, it'll be cool enough and I'll have had enough done in there to broadcast from the garden studio. We are having Wi-Fi problems as well. And so the garden studio is almost as absolutely far away from the Wi-Fi router as it can be. So I'm going to have to do some testing and maybe do some not my monthly live, but do some testing lives with a few of you if you guys want to pop on, and we'll see what happens. So gonna figure that out. Just gonna figure it out one thing at a time, right? One thing at a time. So um, Lori, 73 degrees. Oh, that sounds fabulous. Don't mind me. I'm just opening up. I don't know about you guys, and this is not necessarily a plug for any particular brand, but these sparkling waters with a little bit of flavor to them are like a godsend to me. No calories, no sugar, but I feel like I'm having something decadent. I think I shared that with y'all last time. So this is a new flavor. I keep trying new flavors each week. This is a tropical cherry. Really lovely. Tastes like I'm having some like a sour, a little bit sour cherry candy or something in there. So Habitual Hobby says it's 91 degrees in Missouri. Holy moly. Holy moly. I will tell you, I feel so blessed to have air conditioning. I feel so blessed to not be out on the streets. I mean, this it was hot when we talked last time, but it has just continued to be brutal here. And I'm sure it is everywhere, though I only watch mostly the weather where I am. And someone the other day was talking about a hurricane, and I hadn't checked the weather in a few weeks. They're like, no, no, not right now. We're just in hurricane season. I was like, oh, okay. Did I miss something? Because I thought I'd missed a hurricane announcement, which you don't want to do. But it has been unbearable many afternoons. It was actually nice this morning, and then once the sun came over the trees, I was like, I gotta get back inside right now, right now. 89 in Ocala. You're a couple hours south of us, I guess, roughly hour and a half or so south of our area, and that's just and you're inland, so you don't even get the benefit of the ocean breeze. Not that I'm that close to the ocean. I'm probably 40 miles from the ocean, but it is interesting if you look on the maps, the further inland, right down the spine of Florida, it's really been hit hard. I think someone else was from Daytona on the community tab this week, and they were having just terrible, terrible weather. So excellent. Well, now that we got the weather talk out of the way, it also gives everybody a few minutes to get in here and get settled in. So tell me, is anything still growing in your garden? Is anything still growing in your garden? I'd love to know. I will tell you that right now, if I just think around, I've got the Asian wing beans that are doing great and really need a trellis. But if you saw the garden tour video, I screwed up the mold, the tool I was trying to make. I broke it. And so I have to make a new tool in order to do the tubing the way that I want to do for the trellis, because I'm trying a completely DIY trellis. So it hasn't been for the faint of heart. And I have to have someone here to help me because anyway, I'm getting there. We'll get there. I won't bore you all with that, but we have Asian wing beans that are growing. The figs are almost done. I think I shared on the, in the mailbox, mail opening, I shared a sonic repeller that is being tested. I'll tell you guys a funny story. I put it underneath the fig tree, but I put it too far underneath the fig tree, so it wasn't getting any sun on the solar panel. So So for a couple nights in a row, it was just dead, and there was nothing anybody could do about it because it didn't have any electricity. But I've seen fewer and fewer animals out there, and so that could very well be working and doing what it needs to do. But there's still some more testing to do. I'm going to test it on some other plants as we move forward. We've got okra is growing, sweet potatoes, and it's still a few more tomatillos. On citrus row, I've got just a bunch of tangerines or satsumas. Actually, this is a satsuma variety. I'm really excited about that. It's a little tiny tree. It's covered up just like the persimmon tree is with that. And I am seeing new blooms on the avocado, which surprises me. And I need to start writing this down. Imagine, we talked about a journal last time. I haven't gotten around to that yet. But I'm seeing blooms on the avocado tree, which makes no sense to me. Usually it blooms later, like after spring. It's already bloomed once this year. So let's take a look at some of your comments here. What do we got? What's growing on? We have sunflowers. Great. Turmeric. Oh, yeah. Okra. Oh, Sydney. I'm sorry. Let's see. Cido baby, 105. Oh, it's so hot. And that's just roasting. Okra is loving this. That's fantastic. Yep. Beets, zucchini, cabbage still coming in. Cucumbers. All right. Hardening those off. Okay, cool. The peppers are loving the heat. Yes. Poison ivy. Oh, no. I'm sorry about that, Kaylee. Oh, my gosh. Hey, Stephen. Welcome. Green beans. Oh, fantastic. Tomatoes and peppers are producing. Fantastic. Oh, Kay, the Asian wing beans are just so good. I can't wait to get some more on. I've only had one so far, but as a side note, I transplanted those. So if you've never tried Asian wing beans, they are a bean that grows from a tuber. You plant it, the tuber gets bigger and bigger. And last year, I planted them originally in the end of 2021, 2 years ago now. And I planted them too late for them to grow on and have any beans. But last year I just left them where they were, and we had more beans than we could ever have wanted, and we're so blessed with abundance. This year I put them in a raised garden bed. I actually transplanted them, and they are growing and they're giving bean pods. I see some little ones on there. So that's pretty exciting. And a Thai salad, okra, red noodle beans, Egyptian spinach, figs not ready yet. Let's see what else. Thai salad. Yeah, Thai salad. I understand, Kay. No problem. Lori Hutner, welcome. Some Petit de Noir melon. How'd I do? Is that close? So tiny, dark melons, maybe. I'm thinking a dark red melon, maybe. So I can't wait. Definitely check back in. I am trying to figure out a way, and I know we talked about it before, getting a Discord server or something. But I think now I think I can use my WordPress website to build galleries so you all can come in and just share your pictures. They would go through an approval process, but so you can just share pictures and help us build this sort of community page up there, because I would love to see some of these things that y'all are growing. Things are looking good there. I've got zucchini, squash, tomatoes, peppers, and tomatillos. Strawberries are still setting fruit. Wow. Eggplant, watermelon. Oh, some good watermelon be good. Hey, Plant Obsessed. Welcome. We're talking about what's growing on in everybody's gardens. I don't know where everybody lives. I'm sorry. I can't always remember. I know we have some Missouri and Ohio, and I saw Ocala here a minute ago, started the wing beans from seed. Absolutely start them from seed. I was just excited that they overwintered themselves, because the first year I didn't really do anything to help them out. Last year I did. I put boxes over them on the coldest nights, and put just boxes over the ground where I knew they had been planted, because I was hoping they would come back. I know we should really just have like a get together where we're all just flipping through a seed catalog. Maybe we should do like a Zoom meeting, and everybody comes in and we just talk about seeds and we can all see each other. That would be kind of the fun. Let me know in the comments if you'd like to do that on a Zoom call where we could all see each other and actually have conversations back and forth across video. Let me know. Let's see. Fantastic. 2024 seeds already. Yes. Man, Baker Creek just has the prettiest seed catalog. That is like, you know, a happy place for gardeners. I was trying to think of better words than what I was thinking. So I try to keep this family friendly. You probably would not know because on my show I behave. I kind of have a potty mouth in real life, and so I've always just been more mindful of that on my YouTube channel. And so I always try to think about the things I said. But what really brought that home for me is a friend of mine said, I love sitting with my daughter, and her daughter's 8, and we watch your channel together whenever you put out a new video. And I really appreciate that you don't use swear words on your channel. And I went, oh, never thought about that. I never thought about that. So I try to keep this G-rated, family friendly, and it's a good habit for me to form. So it's all win-win. So, oh yeah, the seed catalog. Oh, seed call. Okay, we're totally going to plan a seed call. We'll figure it out. We'll do it sometime in September, not with our regular call, but we'll just plan a Zoom. We'll plan a Zoom call and have that. I think that'd be fun. So we have a number of people here, at least who are commenting, who it's their first time with us. If this is the first time you've been on one of our lives, let us know in the comments, because I'm seeing a number of names that I don't recognize. So thank you for being here. I'm excited that you're here. Hopefully you saw the announcement too. Actually, we're going to announce on this call the giveaway. So in a minute, we'll get some drum rolls. I saw a class last week I was taking. They were having everybody find the drum roll or the drums in the icon. So feel free. Hey, Stephen, you were very welcome. I don't have small children around me very much, and it's a really good habit for me to have. So it's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing at all. So I am really glad, and I hope that he is building something cool for the garden with his Legos. So that's fantastic. It is kind of funny to think that you guys might be watching me on a TV. My cousin sent me a picture the other day, and I watch YouTube on TV. 14% of our subscribers watch or viewers watch on television, but I still forget it, even though I watch myself on television. So that's pretty funny. So for my giveaway, what I really wanted to celebrate is the fact that we're coming up on 5,000 subscribers. I can hardly believe it myself, frankly, that I would start this channel on a whim. Because I needed an answer to a question, and just fell in love with the platform and fell in love with you guys and fell in love with doing this and sharing my garden. And I did have a channel on Facebook only before this, but it wasn't really a garden channel. It was me sort of pontificating, sitting by the fire pit at the beginnings of COVID. And I would just get up every morning and go live. And a lot of my friends would come and hang out. And as I started doing things in the garden, I would share a little bit of that. And it just sort of took a life of its own, frankly. I am on an 80-inch television right now. Wow. Okay, cool. Fantastic. I am larger than life, which wouldn't be the first time that's happened. So if you are already on our email list, you still want to do this, because I want to make sure that you're in the contest. And I don't know if I can from YouTube. I don't know that I can share my screen. If you guys tell me I can, I'll believe you. But I feel like I have to use an app to share my screen. And so what I'm going to do, I'm going to put it in the comments here. I'll put this in the comment, michelleinthemeadow.com/win. So michelleinthemeadow.com/win. Let's see if I can pin this. Let's put a little celebration right next to that. Let's see. That's all right. We'll see here and pin this message. There we go. So I have pinned it up at the top. That is the link for registering to win. And we're kind of having some fun here. Look, if you don't want to be on my email list and you don't want to subscribe to the channel, you actually can be entered anyway. We're going to do the giveaway once we reach 5,000. YouTube rules say we can't ask people to subscribe for an entry, but we can send you to the page. If you're not already a subscriber and you subscribe, it just moves the contest along faster, but it's not required to be a subscriber of the channel. All we need you to do to enter is to tell us what your favorite flower or vegetable is to grow. And that gets you one entry, but I did incentivize it a little bit. If you visit the channel, you can get a point, I think. If you join the email list, you get a point. But if you just want to enter and you're not interested in being on the email list, all you have to do is enter and answer that one question and you'll have your entry. You can get bonus entries by doing the other things. And if you tell a friend, you share it on Facebook, and these other things, the Raffle Press software will keep track of all your shares. And for every time you share it and someone, I think, clicks your link, you also get an entry that way as well. So sharing it might be a great way to get even more entries. It is going to be from a shipping standpoint, and I want to apologize if we have anybody who is outside of the shipping area. The garden bed will not, I'm giving away a raised garden bed. It can be valued up to $400, including any shipping that may be necessary for it. And whoever wins can choose whether they want a Birdie's raised garden bed or a Vigo raised garden bed, as long as they're in a zone where we can ship the beds directly from the company to you. So if you're in the United States, you could choose either a Birdie's bed or a Vigo bed, and that will be your winning prize. If you are in the UK or in Australia, then we would be limited to a Birdie's bed choice for you. And so I didn't want to make it so someone would have to pay VAT or have duty or imports or make it complicated. So this was the simplest way to do it. And what really made sense to me is I went and looked at the statistics, and with the exception of Canada, I am sorry, that covers the majority of our viewing audience. So I hope you guys will head over there and get registered to win a raised garden bed. I'm very excited about this. And you'll get to choose which garden bed you want up to that $400 level. How about that? So I'm very excited about that. And nobody's asked this yet, but I guess if you wanted 2 small beds, as long as it's under that $400 limit, that's groovy too. We would just ask, maybe eventually you'll share some pictures back with us, but we're excited to share that. So excellent, excellent. Checking here. Oh, garlic. Yep, it is time for garlic. It is time for garlic. I saw on Epic Gardening, they have their pre-order. They're doing garlic this year, I think, through Botanical Interest, through their ownership in Botanical Interest. What is it now? Is it time to put it in the ground now, or is it just time to pre-order now? I think it's just time to pre-order, at least for Florida. It's a little early. I think we wait for it to get a little cooler, but I am not a garlic expert. In fact, my garlic, I got 2 heads of garlic. I planted 30, I think, and I ended up with 2 heads of garlic a year later. It just got left in the bed. I guess it didn't come out. And then one day I had garlic under there, but it's up underneath Audrey, and all of it but 2 ended up rotting in there. Maybe all the water that I was having to do to fight the ants, or maybe Karen suggested there was just too much shade. But I did get 2 heads of garlic, and it's in the garage drying now. So garlic is, Kay said she can't believe how expensive garlic is. Y'all, everything is expensive. Like, it's one more reason we should just grow some of our own food. And I love the little memes that I've seen. People are walking around. They're so happy. And I've got my 39-cent pepper. It only cost me $200 in garden materials to do it. But, you do invest up front when you're starting a garden, but there are lots of low cost and budget ways to do it. It just takes longer. And so, like, if you don't want to buy soil, you could make your own soil. You could build your own soil by hitting up your neighbors, collecting leaves, start a mulch pile, start a compost pile, and slowly I think it would take just like one season for you to turn that leaf mold into something that is good and plantable. And so it's just a matter of trading whether you have enough time or you have enough money and figuring out how you're going to do these things. My fertilizer, I'm not buying fertilizer at this point. I bought 2 great big olive barrels and I filled them up with weeds last year and I haven't used up all of that yet. And you just fill it up with weeds and let it ferment. That's a KNF or Jadam method. I'm not an expert at it. I just know that the plants look really good. And so why fight with it? So pre-order garlic. Plant Obsessed said she can 10 pints of spaghetti sauce today. That's about $50 at the store. Absolutely. How many, I would love to know this, how many pounds of tomatoes did it take to can 10 pints of spaghetti sauce? Because this is the part that fascinates me. And yes, I mean, I usually try to buy things when they're on sale. Before COVID, before I started doing a lot of online shopping for groceries and doing pickup and stuff, I just ran the sales. I would just do the sales. And so I would stock up when spaghetti sauce is on sale, I buy 4, and then when we get low again, it's probably back on sale by the time it comes around. But, a jar of sauce today is, I think we got whatever brand we got this time was $2.99 for 1 jar, $2.99 for 1 jar of sauce. And just might be the quart jar size. But that all adds up, but it would also take a lot of tomatoes, a 5-gallon bucket of tomatoes. Okay, groovy, a 5-gallon bucket of tomatoes. So you can grow those and make your own sauce. It would be really expensive to buy 5 gallons worth of tomatoes and make sauce. That's just the economies of it. But if you can get your tomatoes going and growing, man, tomatoes are, at least I'm finding, tomatoes are givers. Like I have one variety this time, the F100. It is a hybrid cherry tomato. Up until this past week, this past 2 weeks when it's just been brutal, we've just been eating tomatoes. I'm really surprised we've been eating tomatoes this late in the season. So, and the tomatillos, I just finished up putting up the rest of the tomatillos. I just quartered the tomatillos and put them in the freezer. Excuse me. And then I will try roasting them again, make some more shakshuka or something like that. So fantastic. Fantastic. Take a sip here. So what questions do you guys and gals have for me this week? Anything you want to discuss? Anything you want to go over? Any planning for fall? I am not yet planning a fall planting video because everybody's doing a fall planting video. I would rather do some videos that maybe other people aren't covering. So if you have questions about other things that maybe other people aren't covering or videos that you would like to see, I know last time we talked about the trellis video. I have a number of things going on for that. And I have some alternative subpod videos I'm working on. I've just had this whole stack of all the things. So just exciting stuff. Yay, I'm checking here. We've got some entries. Congratulations to the folks that have already entered into the contest. Fantastic. Glad to see that. Yay. Welcome and thank you. Let's see here. Let me turn my phone on quiet here. So that is a great question. Habitual Hobbies asked here. Let me get my phone on silent. Sorry about that. The Super Sweet 100 they were great. I have not frozen tomatoes to use for canning later. So maybe someone else could ask about that. I've only frozen the tomatillos and I'm just planning to put those back under the air fryer and roast. I roast in the air fryer, but it works. I roast them in the air fryer to make salsa, and I'm going to do it this time for shakshuka. Habitual Hobbies wanted to know, I was using a portable microphone outside in your last video and you had been looking for one yourself. Well, yes, I did, and I have since returned it. Now, I don't know if I just have bad luck, but I have tried 2 different microphones now, and they have not gone well for me. And so I am probably going to be looking at a higher end version. This last one was not a cheap microphone. It was about $170, but I recorded it for the garden tour video. And if you watch that video all the way through, and I just happened to know where it was in the video, it was probably about halfway through when I got over to the north side of the garden, and I was talking about the sweet potatoes that were up by the house and the fig. Well, that whole video, that whole 7 minutes of recorded video had audio that was like this. And then the next video I recorded was perfect, because when I am recording, and I know you guys, this isn't a YouTube tutorial thing, but Habitual Hobbies has a channel too. I've learned to record for just a few minutes, maybe a 5-minute segment, and then I stop it and I start a new segment. It's just easier to import the files, easier to manage the files. And actually, because I am shooting in higher resolution, you guys will, hopefully you'll appreciate this. In order to edit my videos, I have to take my device and drive to Mom's secret garden. I park out front sometimes and borrow her Wi-Fi. She's not that far away, but her Wi-Fi is much faster than mine, to upload the videos to the cloud, so I can then turn them around and pull them back down to my computer so that I can then edit them, because the bigger files just seem to time out when I'm trying to import them directly from my device. So that microphone, to tell you, that's a long way to tell you that story. That microphone did not work out for me. I've already returned it to Best Buy, and I am looking at another one. I went into a guitar store, and they had no idea what kind of wireless microphone might be good, which, don't musicians need good microphones? But they just don't seem to have, they didn't have very many in stock. So yeah. Oh, fantastic. We'll talk about that. Let's go back here. Elizabeth has her brassicas out. That's good. And they're getting their first leaves already. That's fantastic. We'll talk about the compost for sure. Yeah, the $170 is what we spent on the microphone. And it doesn't make sense that it worked. And it very well could have been, because it's wireless, it very well could have been that my position, it just didn't reconnect well on that video. But the very next video it did. So it was fine. And when I started a new video, it was dead. And when I went to the next one, it was fine again. And so I don't know. I am testing a new camera. And so I'm going to see what kind of microphone I can put with that, because you guys have been very patient with me. But this garden tour video was really great, except for a couple of spots where the sun just blows out the sensors. And I haven't been happy with that. And I've been trying to find another solution. So I have a new camera. It's actually a 360-degree camera. It's kind of crazy. And so I'll be playing with that and using that for some of the videos. In fact, the contest video, which I should have made live. Oops. The contest video that I uploaded to YouTube tonight was shot on that camera, and I was able to just set it down and record it and zoom in and do all the things. But we have some more stuff coming on from that. So I'll let you know how that goes. But if you have suggestions for a microphone, I know that some people have, I see people using a Rode microphone, which just clips on to you here. I've tested a lavalier mic, which so far hasn't gone well. I've tried several. I've not had a whole lot of luck with them. So sorry about that long rant on that. So if you have any suggestions about microphones, I would love to hear it. So I'm not sure what was hilarious, but I'm glad it was. The compost pile out in the far corner behind the garden studio, I put together, it is a number of pallets, and then they're wrapped in landscape fabric to sort of make it a little more aesthetically pleasing. And then I used fence pickets to make the little gate in the front. And it is just doing time when I have a bunch of weed, and not seedy weeds, but if I have things that I've pulled out of the garden, typically not weeds, because I don't want to have a bunch of weeds back there, but sweet potato vines, things like that, plant trash, it goes in the top there. Some of those loofah that I had last time, I actually dug a hole and buried them down in there. I have a couple of old stuff. So I am not turning it. I am just letting nature take its course. At some point, I may turn it. I have a compost thermometer and I can find out how hot it's getting. Though that pile, now that the garden studio is there, that is not going to get the kind of sun that it was getting before. So mostly it is a place that collects all of the scraps and things that I can put back in the garden. And I figure eventually nature will just break it down and it'll be okay. Maybe one day I'll be good enough at flipping compost and doing all these things. But some days I'm a lazy gardener. I mean, I have a lot to do. I've created this little menagerie here. And so I skip the parts where I can as much as possible. So the DJI wireless is pretty good. I don't know Bray Ellis, but I would like to check that out. DJI wireless is pretty good. That is good to know. Use what they call the dead cat. Yeah, I have seen the dead. I have seen the dead cat, the little air balls. I know that Mark from Self Sufficient Me uses a microphone, and he has that on there. I've seen James Prigione's as well, but I'm going to figure something out because I want to be able to walk away. It was so funny, even in this garden video, y'all. Anyway, I had the microphone on, yet I still stayed behind the camera instead of walking around to the plants. Yeah, this is just goofy me. So I appreciate that y'all been patient with me, but I'm hoping to up my game and improve the quality of my videos. So I thank you for sticking with me through the 100 and so that I've already done. Kaylee, you're not sure if it worked. So if you go back to the contest page and you just hit refresh on the page, up at the top, it'll tell you how many entries you have. If it says you had 0 entries, then something went wrong. If you do want to take advantage of, I think we have 5 entries set on the subscribe to the email newsletter. You do have to confirm your email address to get those entries. So you do have to do that. So my sound effect in the mic, the dog started walking. Started watching. Well, hello, dog. Thanks. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the channel. I don't know which sound effect I made because I'm bad for doing that as well. Any feedback on the gopher noise vibration thing? So yes, Kay, I do have some feedback on that, though it was not for gopher noise. It was not an under the ground. It's not under the ground. It is actually above the ground. And so it has a motion sensor. And when you set the motion sensor off, it lets out a very high pitched sound, which does get Babyface's attention. It doesn't hurt her, but I can tell you now she is not hunting up in that part of the yard. So I can tell you that. So, and it's only on level 2. It said it might take 3 weeks to really affect it. I should have put it out sooner because the figs are almost gone. So there's not really much for the raccoon to come and find. But I've had fewer and fewer animals on that camera. So I feel like it actually might be working. My mistake on that, Kay, is that I had it underneath the fig tree. And underneath the fig tree, it wasn't getting sun. And so it wasn't getting the solar power it needed to recharge. And so we did have one night that I saw the raccoon walk in front of it and it didn't do anything because you can see the light come on the camera. And because I set up like a blink camera at the end of at the fig tree so I could watch. And so that is the feedback on that. So far, it seems to be effective. But time will tell. And I've only tested in a really small area. Folks were worried, and I know Kaylee, you were worried about this. Some folks were worried about it hurting the cats. It's annoying. And so it's annoying. And so it can do a job when you're not there. So I could see it having a real place up in a raised garden bed. Maybe if you're having a problem with cats getting up in the bed or things like that. The only problem is also when you get up and go over there, I can hear it. It hurts my ears, to be honest. So I know that it does hurt their ears, but Babyface doesn't walk around in that area anymore. And it doesn't hurt her. She's still patrolling. I've watched her. I watch her on the camera walk right on by. She just knows to avoid that area now. So it's pretty funny how quickly they learn. Let me grab myself some more water here. Thank you guys for the thumbs up. I appreciate that. It is just a lot of fun doing this. So you guys, it has been, let's see, we got April, 4 months and 16 months. I've been making videos for this YouTube channel. I think I have 190 and counting shorts, including shorts. And so I want to make some more shorts. I want to do some stuff like that. But I would love to know in the comments, feel free, please put in there, what is your, this will be kind of fun. What is the one problem that you're having in your garden that you don't know how to solve? Let's crowdsource some answers tonight. Maybe some other people would like to share some of their ideas. And of course, as I've shared with you guys, I'm not an expert gardener, but I've learned a lot in 4 years of gardening every season. And that to me is always the very best advice I could give anybody, is just keep trying stuff. Beautifully, seeds aren't terribly expensive if you start from seed. And then we've talked about some budget ways to get soil. It's just time. So fantastic. Fantastic. Another sip here. Stink bugs on squash plants. So funny that you would ask this specific question. I ran across a homesteading channel, and what they do for the stink bugs, apparently the stink bugs only get on the top of the plant, And so if anybody else has some suggestions on this, but this farmer goes out in the morning, first thing when it's still cool. Apparently that's when the stink bugs are most active on the plants. And he literally just walks through and picks them off and squishes them right there on the spot, which his wife was filming for him. And she was like, oh, that one really stunk. And so I'm not sure I would wear gloves if you smash them with your fingers for sure. But that was his suggestion, was going out early in the morning. He was checking in the tops. He said the stink bugs land in the top of the vine. So maybe that will help there. Stephanie in Middle Tennessee. It has been hot and humid and now it's super wet. And yeah, the plants have really slowed up. And the nightshades, that is the tomatoes, the peppers, the eggplant. I think there's one more in the nightshade family. I'm just not remembering right this minute. There are potatoes that are in the nightshade family. I know that tomatoes don't like, once it gets to be 85-ish degrees, they really sort of stop setting flowers. If your weather stays warm enough and you have enough garden space, they may start back again once it cools off. Mine, if you didn't see my recent garden tour, you should go back and take a look at that. Probably somewhere around minute 6 or so, I am looking at our tomato plants and they look terrible. The bottom 4 feet are just terrible. But if you get to the last 1.5 feet at the top, there's lots of new growth. And so I plan to take that new growth and clip it off and propagate it. I'm going to stick it in some water. I'm probably going to bring it inside to do it because it's just so hot, and everything I've propagated on the porch in the hot, it's just cooking. It's literally cooking the stems of the plants in the water. And so bring those inside for a couple of days, let them put on some roots, and then just put them in some pots and pot them up and restart right from the plants that I already have. Now, maybe your plants don't have any good growth at the top. I'm not sure, but that's what I'm going to try to do with my tomatoes for sure. Blossom rot and earwigs. Now, I have blossom rot. I don't know personally because I've only experienced that 1 year, but from what I understand, that isn't blossom rot a deficiency in the soil, and you can't just add, I think it's a calcium deficiency, but there's some formulation. You can't just add calcium to the soil because the plants can't uptake it. But I'll do some research on that. Earwigs, I have not seen in my garden. Oddly enough, I find them in the house. The cats love to play with them, but I've never seen them in the garden that I can recall. Or if I have, it's been in such a quick passing. So the trellis is over your, yeah, so that'll be kind of hard. Water hose. then maybe if the trellis is over your head, then Anne, I would probably take my water hose and put it on some sort of a shower setting and just try to see if you can shoot them off that way without hurting the plants. That's what I would try. I am not a big fan of pesticides. I do occasionally have to fight ants that come in the house because I can't have them in the house. I don't use a whole lot of diatomaceous earth. I don't use a whole lot of BT except in buckets of water because there are so many other beneficial insects here. But I can understand not wanting them to eat your squash, and so maybe a water hose would help. Yeah, and the blight starts showing because it's been so rainy and humid. Absolutely. I mean, and I think it's just everywhere. And I saw there's a weatherman I'm following on YouTube, and his I think it's Matt Y'all or something like that is his channel. And I just saw before I started the live, and I'm going to go back and watch his video. He said this winter is going to be different. I don't know what that means, but it'll be interesting. I'm going to go back and watch that video and see if I can find that. It's Ryan Hall, y'all. Very good. Habitual Hobbies. It's Ryan Hall, y'all. So y'all know, do y'all like Ryan? Do you find his forecast to be interesting? I'm not much of a weather nerd, but I really do enjoy. I'm just a nerd, and so I enjoy when I have a chance to learn new things. So, okay, good. You like his explanation. So that's what I found when I watched it. I've seen a few of his episodes, and I'm like, well, it's kind of nice to have somebody say it in a way that instead of this precipitation front over here, So just tell me what's going on. Yeah, in the Midwest, you do have to keep up with that sporadic weather. We don't have, we have obviously everywhere could have tornadoes, but we don't have those crop up. We go on the other side. We sit and wait for 10 days to find out if a hurricane is coming or not. And my cousin who lived in LA said, he goes, I would rather have earthquakes over hurricanes any days. Earthquake, you don't know it's coming, it happens, it's over. And he goes, when you have hurricanes, you sit and watch the weather for a week, wondering if it's going to get there, and then as you're preparing, it goes away. And so it is one of those funny things, isn't it? Well, my goodness. Whew. So for fall, and I put this in the newsletter that I just sent out this afternoon. I have planted my sweet potatoes because I want to have homegrown sweet potatoes for Thanksgiving this year. And I think this variety I have is probably about 100-day variety. And it's going to need 2 weeks to cure. So I'm going to be scooting in under the edge on this one. I'm going to be scooting in under the edge. But I'm thinking that would be a fun video to make at some point to talk about planting food when you want to harvest it for particular things. And so sweet potatoes, by the way, if I don't get sweet potatoes for Thanksgiving, for sure I'll have sweet potatoes for Christmas. Last year I let them stay in the ground and I did not take them out, and I just let the raised garden beds be my root cellars, and they hung on just fine. So we don't have root cellars in Florida. I know you guys have things like that in other places. We don't have a root cellar. I would like to figure out how to do that though, because I think it would be a really nice way to store stuff. I store things in my garage right now instead of in the house because somehow I've not gotten very good at this and they tend to rotten, and I would rather have them rotten sometimes in the garage than in the house and make bugs in the house. So, you mean kind of like watching toilet paper going away during COVID? Yeah, that was a lot of fun, wasn't it? I have opinions about all of these kinds of things. We had conversations at our house and nobody was excited about these conversations. But I said, look, we can use a washcloth or whatever. and I that was met with much resistance. But I said, at the end of the day, there was a time where people used a Sears catalog, right? They were grateful to have it. So there are options. There are options that you could do. And there are a lot of cloth. There are actually, personal cloths or whatever, and you just use those to clean up, and they just go into a laundry basket and get washed. And so you just have to figure that out. So that would be a fun video to like make harvest videos for actual like events and stuff. Fun, see what kind of food we eat on Thanksgiving. Yeah, it'll be interesting. We are last year. What did we do for Thanksgiving last year? I think we had like pho, which is Vietnamese noodle soup. I think that's what we did for Thanksgiving last year. We didn't even do a full traditional Thanksgiving. We had family members were away in other places. And so we just did something really, really simple. I am all for simple. I have a big family, but everybody's sort of spread out now. And so usually it's 4 to 5 of us, and that's the whole shebang, unless somebody else stops by. And so, of course, being in the South, it's appropriate that if you have 5 people coming, you cook for 10, and when everybody's done eating, there's still enough food for 15. Apparently, that's not just a Southern thing, but I don't know if that's how it is at your house. What other things could we grow between now and Thanksgiving that we could have as part of our Thanksgiving meal, regardless of what kind of meal it was? Let's put some suggestions in the comments. I mean, I'm immediately thinking green beans, right? And squash. What else you got? Ooh, Brussels sprouts, radishes. Radishes. How would you use radishes in a Thanksgiving meal, Kay? I like that. Turnips and beets, some herbs. Yeah, for sure. Oh my gosh, wouldn't that be really fun to have like a turkey herb garden, like all the things that you would normally buy dry in the store and just have them all fresh out of the garden? I'm assuming for a turkey, I'm assuming would be thinking about tarragon and other things. I don't know. I just buy the seasoning packs. So I'll get there. Herbs, carrots. Ooh, roasted radishes. Really? So roasted radishes. I never knew that. Okay. Oregano, some oregano. Sure. Man, that would be fun. Okay, we'll do that. We're going to make that video. What can I plant? What can I plant to be ready for Thanksgiving? That would be kind of fun. Same thing. They do Thanksgiving, Christmas, Easter. And depending on your zone, my zone is going to be different. I am fortunate from the gardening standpoint of things that there are a lot of things that I can grow deeper into fall and winter. And even though if you look at the freeze dates for our zone and for where I live, we actually have what they call a 300-day growing window, with 300 days between our first frost date and our average first frost date and average last frost date. Now, what's really funny about that, 300 days, right? They're only 65 days apart, roughly 60 days apart, roughly. And so that's 8 weeks. Well, literally once we get our first frost date, 2 weeks later is 6 weeks before our last frost date. And so it's already time to start planting seeds. It's already time to start seeds inside. Just as the first frost is hitting, it's time to start thinking about seeds. And so 300 days. And really, I mean, I grew sweet potatoes year round last year. I did not pull them up. I just left them in the ground, and then they started back again once it warmed up. What else did we grow? The bananas completely froze back. I think I shared that in the video, but they look really great now. What else? What else do we have? I'm trying to think. Of course, having something for a salad. You could have some salads for Thanksgiving. And so, but where you are, you could probably grow salad year round. I cannot grow salad year round here. I have a very limited window for growing. Hello. Well, hello. Miss Ginger is here to say hello. Do you want to come up and say hi to everybody? Come here. No. She's not going to let me pick her up. Are you? Come here. Everybody loves seeing you. Everybody loves seeing you. Say hello. She's like, whatever, y'all. Whatever. So, but salads we can't grow here year round. I can't grow rhubarb that I know of. Though here is a funny, at least it's funny to me. when you shop, and I probably have shared this before, when you shop at the big box stores, they don't necessarily have what's best for your zone. Like I was able to buy rhubarb crowns here, but rhubarb really 8B, 8B, and I'm in 9A. And so 8B is kind of the end zone for rhubarb. A couple of other things I saw, I have seen like peach trees and different varieties in the stores. And you should always check them out. If you're thinking about fruit trees, check out the tags that are on the fruit trees because they have, they tell you what their cold hours are and things like that. And so how many hours of cold. And so they had these fruit trees. If I remember, they were a stone fruit, probably a peach, and they were like 400 to 500 chill hours. Well, in our area, we don't have that many chill hours. I mean, as the climate continues to change, maybe we will, but they're selling these in local nurseries, big box nurseries. And so I challenge you, if you are shopping that way, and you absolutely can, that's up to you. But whether you shop in a big box nursery or a little local nursery, read those tags and make sure, even though those plants are on the shelf, it does not mean that it will grow well in your area. She's just all there. So Kaylee is a moderator on here. That's what that wrench is next to her name, Kay. That's what that is. So Ginger, what do you think? What do you think? We done? Are we done? No? Okay, you want to sit there? All right. You can hang out. So excellent. So you guys y'all met Ginger last month, if I recall. So Ginger was there. Kaylee has been kind to help me pin comments and welcome people, and I'm very grateful for that. Thank you, Kaylee. Thank you very, very much. If you have not registered yet for the giveaway, I have pinned that link in the comments. If you're not sure if your registration went through, then you can simply go to back to the registration page again, hit refresh, and it will show you how many times, how many entries you have. And again, you get more points for signing up for the email list so we can stay in touch and I can share things when things are happening, let you know what events are going on. And also if you share with your friends. And so if you choose to use the share features to share it, I'm using a raffle, I think it's called Rafflecopter or Raffle Press to manage the contest. And so if you use the page to share with your friends, you also get points for each time that you share that way as well. So I see we have a number of entries coming in. Fantastic. Yay. That's fantastic. Thank you very much. Let's see here. And Kaylee, to answer your question, yes, I do see your entries in here. So there you go. All right. And to get the 5 credits, you do have to verify that email. So it could be in your spam folder because that does happen. While I do this stuff for other things, I'm new to how all these things work together with YouTube and YouTube promotion. And I think it's really important because this was important on my rules. I had to say this giveaway that we are doing is in celebration of getting to 5,000 subscribers on our YouTube channel. It is not endorsed by, nor supported by, nor affiliated with YouTube at all. And so YouTube will take no responsibility for my contest. And I had to make sure that was in our contest rules. I thought it was pretty funny. Just trying to make that work. And yes, and thank you very much, Kaylee, for reminding that again. And so, yeah. And Kaylee, if we end up with any folks in here that are not polite folk, Kaylee is responsible for just kicking them out because she says I'm too nice. So thank you very much. Well, thank you, Habitual Hobbies. I'm having fun with that. And I think, speaking of that, I think I want to do, you guys have hung in here. I think I want to do a couple of giveaways tonight as well, because y'all have hung in here tonight. So the first Now, let me figure out what I'm going to do. I didn't get prepared for this part. I was so busy playing with the other camera doing stuff today. I think, let's see, we are coming into fall here. Let's give away some seed packets. I need to get a, Ginger, I have to have my hands. I have to have my hands. Do you mind? I'm going to put you down. I got to have my hands because I got to be able to type things in. Got to be able to type things in. So first we're going to do some seeds. We're going to do some seeds. Let's see if I can figure out how to do this in a, I'm going to pick a number on something here that's laying over here. Let's find something that has a number on it that I can use as my reference. That doesn't have any numbers on it. All right. I have a number. The number is between 1 and 75. So in the comments here, go ahead and put a number between 1 and 75, and whoever is closest to the number, I will award some seeds. So go ahead and put those down in the comments. And yes, Ginger is a big kitty. She is a big girl, and she's smaller now than she was, but she's a big girl. She is a big girl. Hey, Beverly, we got some new folks. Anastasia, welcome, welcome, welcome. Sarah, oh, a bunch of new names here. A bunch of new names. All right, all right, all right. Let me know if you want to put any in the comments. In the comments, let me know. Before I look down at the comments, I looked at my phone and it was 7:57 when I started. So I picked the number 75. Let's see what we got over here. Over here. Oh, habitual hobbies. Habitual hobbies at 74. All right. So let me write that down. Actually, I know how I do this. I have you guys send me an email. So habitual hobbies, you already have my email. Remind me of your address and I'll send you out some seeds. I will send you out some seeds. Send you out some seeds for sure. All right. How about for the next? Oh yeah, drum roll. The drum roll. Yeah, put some drum rolls in there. Everybody throw some drum rolls in the comments. Throw some drum rolls in the comments. And then after they scroll through, I'm just going to reach and touch the screen and pick one that way. Some drum rolls in the comments. To get to the drum rolls, there is and if you just type the word drum, that's okay too. I'll take that. You could copy and paste K from somebody else's. That's how I do it. There is a smiley face down there. Is that a reaction or is that a emoji? Yeah, if you click on the smiley face, at least that's how it is in my version. You can click on that and then it'll let you pick an emoji by typing in drum. So you could try that. See if that works. See if I can close this back now. I'll close that back. All right, fantastic. Drum. That's right. You can just type in the words drum roll if you can't make it work. We're not that complex around here. We're not that complex around here. We're not that complex around here at all. We want to have fun. This is about having fun. Let me go pick your next prize. Let's see. How about I'm looking. Trying to find something fun here. Fun and quick. How about we're going to give away this is a little bigger, but it'll be all right. We're going to give away a soil blocker. So you can make your own soil blocks. And I'm going to turn back to the page now because I haven't been looking. All right, you guys got it? You got your drum rolls? Any more drum rolls? Anybody else with drum rolls? I see all the drum rolls here. Try to get as many on the screen as I can. All right. I'm just going to scroll it through. Oh, we got some more. They could be expensive. They could be. It's all right. I see one on sale. It'll be all right on Epic Gardening. And I'm going to scan. Put my finger here on the screen and stop. and I can't see because the lights are in my eyes. Stephen Bushert. Stephen Bushert. If I said that correctly, I hope. You can drop an email to michelleinthemeadow@gmail.com and let me know your shipping address. Put my email in here, michelleinthemeadow@gmail.com, and put your shipping address in there. And you, congratulations, Stephen. It's a good night. A soil blocker for you. A soil blocker for you. Congratulations. Congratulations. Fantastic. Fantastic. Let's do one more fun giveaway. Let's see what else we can find here. That'd be kind of fun. Kind of fun. All kind of fun stuff. While I am doing this, let's put some cat emojis in the for Ginger. Let's put some cat emojis in there for us. Some cat emojis. What do you think? Some cat emojis. Or the word cat. Or the word cat. How's that? Or the word cat. All right, so this will be fun. This is actually I'm going to do a pair of solar garden lights from Vigo Garden. Solar garden lights from Vigo Garden. Look at all these cats rolling up. Hey, Meadow Hendricks. Hey, Pinky. Glad Pinky's feeling good. Glad Pinky's feeling good. Oh, I love it, man. There's all kind of cat emojis in there. Oh, look, they even have Schrodinger's cat. Sarah, nicely done. Nicely done. So these are solar lights that will fit your corrugated metal raised bed. They are designed by Vigo Garden, but I know they will fit on Birdie's beds because I'll do that. And if you have any of the corrugated beds from other companies, then they will fit on that as well. Now, if you message me and say, hey, Michelle, I don't have any of these raised beds, and you win, and you email me and you want to swap for something different, I'm nice like that. We'll figure it out. All right, let's finish these last. Any more? All right, let's see here. Get all the cats on the screen. I'm gonna stick my finger on the screen here. Not looking at the screen. I'm scrolling it around. And here. Sarah Belden with Schrodinger's cat. Congratulations, Sarah Belden. Please send an email to michelleinthemeadow@gmail.com with your shipping address. If you don't have a Birdie's or a Vigo bed or a metal corrugated bed, I'm happy to substitute for something similar. And so we'll figure that out. Congratulations. Thank you, Kaylee. That's very kind. Yeah, Dixie W. Yes, they will fit a Birdie's bed. I'm pretty sure they will fit the Forever Garden bed. Frankly, I think they all have the same ribbing. I think they're all very, very similar. So I like that. Elizabeth, well played, Elizabeth. Well played, Elizabeth. It looks like the cat was alive after all. I don't know why I get so. I love the Schrodinger's cat. Is it the phenomenon or theory or whatever? It is both dead and alive, but this time it was definitely alive. Congratulations. That's fantastic. All right, we're going to do some more seeds. So now let's put some plant emojis. Let's put some plant emojis in the comments there. Some plant emojis. Let's do that. Fantastic. You guys are awesome. I'm so glad we're hanging out. We're at our hour mark. Usually you guys are like, hey, we got to go a little bit longer. I think is it Heather who usually says, hey, we should go a little bit longer. So we'll stick around for a little bit more. Oh yeah, look at all those beautiful plant emojis. Woo, keep them going. Keep them going. Look at here. Oh, I think I have just the idea. I have just the idea here. I know exactly what we're giving away this time. I know exactly what we're giving away. I got it right, her. This giveaway is a Hori Hori garden knife. This is from Epic Gardening. It's made by Corona. I love my Hori Hori knife. I can't just grab it and show you. The Hori Hori knife allows you, it's a nice, big, thick blade. It almost looks like a hunting knife, but it's shaped more like a shovel. It's got a rigid edge on it. You can dig and pull around, and you can. I love it, Kay. Great. I love it. I love it. I love it. Putting all those plants in there. That's fantastic. But it is a great tool to have in the garden. So I just want to do something fun here. I see all these plants. We got all the plants. Here's the top of the plant. I'm going to stick my finger here. And thank you. Yes, if you have already won one of the prizes, then we're going to let other people win. That is very kind of you, Sarah. I thank you very, very much. I appreciate that. And so we're still scrolling here. I see some more plants coming in. Wrapping it up. Any more? Going on before I pick? Any more plant emojis? All right. Oh, we got a few more here. Okay. I'm going to stick my finger up here on the screen. And what I'm doing, y'all, is kind of funny, is I'm just rocking the screen back and forth, and then I'm just putting my finger down and stopping. And the winner is, oh, no, I'm not in the plant emojis. Oh, let me try that again. I went too far. Let's try that again. That was the old part of the contest. Dixie W, congratulations with your 3-leaf clover. Congratulations. And that was kind of fun. I'm actually going to give away, that was so much fun. I'm going to give away a second Hori Hori knife. Dixie W, if you will please send an email to michelleandthemeadow@gmail.com. That would be great. And this will be our last prize for tonight. We're going to do another Hori Hori knife giveaway here. And if you want to put in some more, ketchup is a food group, you can, hit that like, please. Thank you, Meadow Hendricks. You can put a few more plant emojis here, or I can use the ones we already have. Feel free. All right, I'm going to do one more here. I'm going to look up now that I got my finger in the right place. And that winner is Plant Obsessed. Congratulations, Plant Obsessed. All right, so if you will drop an email to me at michelleandthemeadow@gmail.com, I will get that out. And let me know what it is you won, please. So that I didn't end up writing it down. I was going to write it down, but then I didn't. So what's growing on here? The like button. There should be a like button. I don't know where the like button is on for you guys. I can't see one. Metal Hendricks, if you know how to tell them where the like button is, that'd be great. Habitual Hobbies, thank you very, very much. All right, fantastic. Well, for these next few weeks, I am trying to clean up all the garden projects that I have started and trying not to start new ones, though that never works out as planned. There always seems to be this idea to do one more thing. And I think that's one of the fun things about being a gardener is you never run out of projects. So I'm glad you guys had fun with that. Congratulations to everyone who won. That was kind of fun to have a little bit of a giveaway. If you haven't registered yet for the YouTube giveaway, make sure that you do that. All you have to do is answer the question, what is your favorite plant or vegetable to grow? And so once the channel reaches 5,000 subscribers, we're going to go ahead and do the giveaway. And so right now it says there's 34 days, but if we get to 5,000 subscribers for that, we're going to call the contest early and make sure that we do our giveaway as close as we can around the 5,000 mark. So hopefully you guys are all registered now, and I'm just excited. This has been a lot of fun. Coming up, my next big project, aside from the trellis, which needs to be done, I have some sub pod alternatives, and you inspired me to think about this even more. So I am working on that. Working on now we've talked about planting and growing for Thanksgiving, so we'll work on that. So there's just an unending amount of there's an unending amount of content that we can make. So you are very, very welcome. I am happy that everybody has been here tonight. I can keep rambling, but I would rather answer specific questions or share things with you that you guys want to know. I have It's just nuts over there. I see them, planters. So the sub pod alternative. So since you guys are on the live, I will tell you so Sarah, I'm sorry that you've burned dinner, but I'm glad that you could be here with us. So for the sub pod alternative, I honestly am going to be testing a couple of things. One, I'm going to be testing buckets that I've drilled holes into, and I'm going to be testing milk crates, because the milk crates are already holy. And so, but not stolen milk crates. These are milk crates that I bought. I didn't steal them, so that we're clear. And I bought food safe milk crates to share that. So this is one of the pluses on being on the live stream. These are things I don't tell until the video is coming out. So this is one of the benefits of being here. You guys get to hear about that. But I did buy some crates. And when I reset all of the raised garden beds, my goal is to put a vermicomposting system in every bed. I have seen how well Audrey has done, and all the plants that have grown around Audrey. For those who aren't on the channel in a regular amount, Audrey is the loofah that is growing in one of our raised garden beds. And we have a subpod in-ground vermicomposting system over there. And every time I open it, the roots are just down into the sub pod. They're just like, oh my God, there's goodness in here. And so the tomatoes did really well over there. The peppers are still looking killer. The peppers are closest to it. And so I'm going to give it a try. I think there's a way to make it practical. Vigo does sell some vermicomposting bins, but they are pricier than a milk crate. Now, the milk crate is going to take up more space. And, the sub pod is, let me see if I can find these here. The sub pod is not cheap. Now, I bought the sub pod because I wanted to test it out, and I thought it would be a really good and easy thing to do. And I've learned a lot about it. So I'll share all that in the video too. I was looking here to see if I could find how much the worm composter is from Vigo Garden. So the worm composter from Vigo Garden is $60, and it looks really good. And I think it would be fine. And it wouldn't take up as much space, but the milk crates, I think, end up being $12 or $13 a piece. So I can buy almost 3 for the same as the Vigo one. And so I do want to share with you guys ideas and ways that we can do things for cheaper. I know that I'm big on the Birdie's beds and on the Vigo's beds. And I like both companies. I like their products. I like the people that I've dealt with at the companies. But at the same time, I want to show you guys as many different things as I can. I am not beholden to the companies. Yes, I'm an affiliate. I do earn a commission when you click my links. It does make a huge difference for our family. If you choose to come back and click our links, it may not seem like a lot, but with 4,000 subscribers, if 50 people click on a link in a month, it does help. It all does add up. So there is that. Does anyone have a good source for pruning small fig trees in containers? Plant Obsessed grows fig trees in containers. I happen to know that because she shared that with us last time. But I would think, when we're trimming things, we want to prune them when they're dormant, right? if we're just pruning them back and we're not trying to take cuttings to regrow. I think dormancy is a really important part of that. So Kay wants to know, speaking of the birdies beds, have I ever thought of drilling a hole in the bed to attach the trellis, and do I think it will rust? I have not thought about drilling a hole through the bed because there are devices out there that you can use to set the fittings in. So you could just reuse the holes that we already have. And I'm going to be doing some of that for the bed that I'm going to build the trellis for the Asian wing beans. I'm going to be using clamps that will hold the pipes in within those ridges. And so my plan is not to drill through the bed at all. Do I think it would rust if I drilled through the bed? It might. Probably if I drilled through the bed, I would use some kind of silicone or something food safe silicone just to wrap around it, not because I'm worried about it leaking, but just to keep as much moisture off of it as I can, because the way these beds are made, they're layers, right? I don't have any, this is a layer. So, it's layers of different metals that are put together, and then they are powder coated with a protective coating. And I do worry that drilling through could cause it to rust. I do. Habitual hobbies. My fig tree is only about a foot tall and is growing more branches from the soil rather than more on the existing branches. That makes sense. Yes. Yeah, that does make sense. And so Anne has responded here. She prunes her figs after the leaves fall off. That makes sense to me too. If you're getting growth from below the soil, did you start this fig tree yourself, or is it on a rootstock? And are you getting rootstock growth, or are you getting fig growth? That would be my next question. So Scott Head, Black Gumbo Gardening on YouTube, has some content on growing figs in pots. I understood, Anastasia. I understood figs in pot. You didn't start it, but it's not grafted. Okay, that's interesting then that it's coming from below the soil line. If it were me and I didn't want them growing from below the soil line and I really wanted to focus the growth on the top, I would cut it. I don't think that would hurt it, but that's my advice, what I would do. Anne has a lot more experience. Maybe Scott over at Black Gumbo Gardening could tell you more. So I think sticky tape. Okay, I think we must be talking about. Tammy says she flicks them off or uses wrapped sticky tape on a stick. I think she might be talking about stink bugs. That's a good idea. Sticky tape on a stick. Hey, there you go, Ann. You could just extend a thing we use to roll our clothes, right? And put it on an extension and reach up into the squash. So, but I think that we can on the figs, just be mindful. I have some plums that are below the graft line that I need to just cut it away because it's below the graft line. And then I also want to take some of the cuttings and try more. That is actually a big idea for me. Is I want to do some other. I feel like a light just went out. I want to do some other of the grafting and not grafting. I'm sorry, pruning and propagating. Somebody said last time, once you prop, you just can't stop. So I'm thinking I'm going to do that on a t-shirt like y'all suggested. Once you start propping, you just can't be stopping, or something like that. Something silly. Duct tape to the rescue. Hey, why not? What's the, really whatever kind of tools you can get so that you put less toxins and less poisons in your garden. And look, no judgment. You do in your garden what you want to do. I'm trying to do in my garden what I want to do. Some people prefer to use even organic pesticides. If that works for you, do that. It's okay. It's all good. So I do want to share. Actually, let me answer this question. Am I able to have bees in our suburbs? Like, would I want to have beehives? I am able to do that, there would be no law precluding for me to do that. In fact, there are bees right down the street. However, Mrs. Michelle would have to get an EpiPen if we did that. And so, because she's highly allergic. And so we probably won't be doing that. So instead, I'm going to stick with growing flowers and inviting as many pollinators as I can that way. I had a really terrible sting yesterday, and I don't know what got me. It didn't feel like a wasp, though it could have been a wasp because it hurt so bad, but it wasn't as bad as a wasp sting I've had in the past. And I immediately came in and had to do calamine lotion and ice and just sit down for a minute. It was terrible. And I mean, the sting was at one spot and the sting was just running up my arm and my arm started swelling up just a little bit. So I think it might have been a wasp, frankly, but it happened so fast. It was over. I never saw a wasp. So, yeah. So yeah, we don't want to aggravate that allergy for her. Mike Kincaid is a big fig nut. He's in the Pacific Northwest. Interesting. And they have more garden weather like we do here, from what I understand, which is kind of funny to think like we're on opposite places. But even though they're further north, a lot of the places that are coastal have a very similar weather seasonality to them here. Yeah, Kaylee, you don't want to take a chance if you're highly allergic. Hey! Everybody say hey to Secret Gardener Mom. Mom, welcome. Mom's in the house. So, y'all, that's my mother in love. She's so awesome. She is so awesome. It's her fault. It's all her fault. She let me start my first gardens at her house in her backyard. And so I blame her. I blame her that I know how to sew. I blame her that I know how to garden now. It's all her fault. It's really good. It's really good, Mom. Thank you. I love you. I appreciate that. So mason bees don't sting. We actually do have some mason bees here. I can tell you because I have holes in wooden chairs. So we have mason bees around here. That's good. I don't think that I would want to take care of a hive, but I'll just keep planting lots and lots of stuff. I'll plant more of this bee balm or horseman or bergamot or whatever it is that's out front. That's way too tall now, but I am going to plant that in the back because it would be really awesome back in the pollinator garden. That would look really awesome. It does not look awesome in the front of my house. It's now almost to here on me. And down at the bottom, it's just all spindly and it's just not. I love that the pollinator's in it, but I wanted a pretty neat spot up front. So, all right. Fuzzy butts. Yeah. And the squash blooms. Yeah. It is fun to see the bees. We have a really good amount here. We've been very fortunate, but I do intentionally plant, things for the pollinators. And so up front, I have salvia up by the beans and the peaches. In the back, I have a pollinator garden in one side over there. We're letting a lot of the wild and invasive things that the bees like to land on go wild. The African basil, y'all, the African blue basil, we talked about it just once. I've got to propagate it out. I am in love with this plant. The number of bees on this is ridiculous. And apparently that is a variety that doesn't grow well from seeds. So you do have to propagate it. So if you can find somebody that has some African blue basil and you're trying to up your pollinator game, I would highly recommend it. And it smells good. I have no idea if it's good for cooking or eating with. I should look that up. But it smells so good when you bump into it. And over there, it just blows my mind. It's like a sensory experience going out into the garden. So yeah, our fuzzy butts are our cats too. We have 3 indoor cats, and now what I call the meadow cats, which started out as feral cats, which I used to complain a lot more about, but I'm not allowed to complain about them anymore because they like me now. And so they've won me over. In the mornings when I go out to feed them, they want to get pets before they get their food. And so even if I put their food down, if I haven't petted them yet, they will come over for a pet. So now I'm like, why y'all got to be like that? Anise, hyssop and borage are good attractors for bees too. Yes, borage. And borage is also comfrey, I think. I think comfrey and borage are the same thing. And so we do have borage, the comfrey planted on this side of the house, though I do want to divide up those roots and plant it around. A good tip on planting comfrey is you want to get a variety that is sterile. Otherwise, you will have comfrey forever. And so get a sterile variety. I think Bocking 13. Tammy, if you know, if you would add that in the comment. So I think it's Bocking 13 or Bocking 14, which is a variety that is sterile. So my throat, you guys, is starting to get scratchy. So forgive me here. This has been a lot of fun again tonight. I really enjoy a Russian 14. Thank you so much, Anne from Plant Obsessed, Russian Bocking 14. So it's sterile. So it doesn't, even if the seeds fall, it doesn't spread. It only spreads with the roots. And I know that the variety that I had is absolutely like that because I have no comfrey growing except right where I put it. It does expand out. It will expand and put on new roots, and it can be separated and divided just like other root crops. But yeah, if you live somewhere that you don't care if it takes over, that's certainly up to you. But I've just seen too many people complain about how terrible it is to have it everywhere. But it's really great, maybe like lavender too. Yeah, I thought that borage, I'm going to Google this real quick. Are borage and comfrey the same thing? Let's find out. Now, then I'll be another YouTube video, wouldn't it? Oh, borage and comfrey are two different species, but they're members of the same family. Whereas comfrey is a perennial plant and comes back year after year. Borage is an annual that happily reseeds. Interesting. That is from Wisconsin Food Forest. And so I always assumed they were the same plant. So that's really good to know. I'm going to look that up. I'll put that on my future video list. So thank you very much, Tammy, for mentioning that. I thought they were the same thing, but apparently not. How about that? So I do know for comfrey and maybe borage is the same. With comfrey, because of that's deep taproot, you can take the leaves from comfrey. You can use that as a mulch around other plants, and as it breaks down, it returns those nutrients to the soil. I take and cut it up and I put it in buckets to make an anaerobic fertilizer. So we put it in the buckets, fill it with water, cover it up, keep it sealed for 3 months. When I'm doing this properly, every quarter I am trimming and I'm taking rotating buckets. I have a bucket of comfrey to put in comfrey liquid for fertilizer, and then I get a new bucket and I cut all the comfrey back, but not too much. Put that in and rotate them around. So borage is edible and can be used for tea. That's interesting. Yeah, comfrey, I don't think you want to make tea out of comfrey. I do know it can be used also. Native Americans call it knit bone. And so if you have inflammation or swelling, you can actually make a poultice out of it and put that on for that. So that's good to know. Thank you. Cool. Plant Obsessed bought hers on Etsy. That's excellent. Excellent. Borage are always, I only grow borage. Haven't noticed a long taproot. I think the flowers are different colors. Borage is always blue. Fantastic. Yeah, Plant Obsessed says she wishes she was that organized with her jadam. I'm not that organized. That's the plan. I don't actually execute it very well. That's the plan. In my mind, it's easy to keep up with the quarters, right? So 1, 4, 7, 10. But it has only worked out a few times. So usually it doesn't end up being that good. So, hey, I'm so glad we can make work go faster there. Habitual hobbies. Fantastic. That's fantastic for you. And I want to get more organized with my jadam. I am not someone who can speak about jadam very, very well, but jadam and KNF, Korean Natural Farming, there's a lot of great channels out there. If you guys have not ever watched Garden Like a Viking, he has a huge amount of information on all of those kinds of very free and low cost methods. He has a ton of of gardening experience. And he is new. He is a new YouTuber, not new YouTuber, but his garden channel started last year as well. I was super excited for him. He's already to 100,000 subscribers, but he goes live every Saturday. He's given lots of great advice. I'm so excited for him. It's really cool. But you definitely could check out his channel to learn a little bit more about making anaerobic liquid fertilizers. And then there are a couple of other channels that do the KNF. I think Nature's Always Right does a lot about KNF. And so the general idea is that you can take the plants that are growing, you can put them in water, and you can let them ferment 3 months, 6 months, a year. And then you take the liquid and then mix it in with water to fertilize your plants. The nutrients that are in there, the microbial life feeds the soil, and then that helps feed the plants. So, habitual hobbies. Have I tried out Seed Time? Habitual hobbies. Thank you so much. I did sign up for Seed Time. I don't know if I have my affiliate link ready for that or not. So I've not gone further on that calendaring, but I definitely want to do that. Plant Obsessed 147 potato chip squirrels, 100%. I recently was told by a friend of mine who is a psychologist, and it was kind of a funny conversation. And she said, well, you know what it's like, Michelle, when you have ADD, with people like us, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, what do you mean ADD? I don't have ADD. She goes, oh, child. I was like, what do you mean? She goes, just go do some research. Well, damn. Oh, excuse me. Well, darn. Sorry about that. But yeah, apparently I have ADD, and that's interesting. And so it's very much 147 potato chip squirrels. Let's start another garden bed. And were we supposed to fertilize last week? It's very much like that. So there is a book on Jadam as well. That's fantastic. Yes. Yeah. I hope everything's okay outside, Kaylee. Let us know. Jane, welcome, Jane. Hey, you missed some of the giveaways, Jane. Sorry about that. Welcome back. Thank you. Sorry. All the best gardeners have ADD. I think I'm going to claim it as a superpower, like I have heard. I mean, I've already been doing this my whole life. I just understand what's growing on with it. But yeah, it's. I think in a way you do, because if you're going to have a big garden, there are lots of things going on. But I am going to look for tools to get myself better organized, because this garden now is as big as it's ever been, and I've got to find better ways to manage and do things, because I want to do it in an easy, lazy way, but still get things done. So, all right. Oh, good. Fireworks. Oh yeah. You got to keep track of that. Yeah, I can absolutely focus on learning about gardening. I can absolutely focus, sometimes to the detriment of a job, because I actually have a full-time job that takes 50 hours a week. So on top of gardening. And so I definitely have to make sure I can manage my focus. So yeah, who knows? I thought maybe that was just in Redneckville where I live, that people, and no offense to anyone who's a redneck, that's not a slur at all. But out here, it seems like usually it's a week before, 4th of July, all the way through a week after 4th of July. In our area, we just kind of make a joke. We get gunfire or fireworks. So I'm glad you checked on him. Yeah. Hey, no, look. I mean, look, my neck from being out in the sun. Yeah. No offense. No offense intended. You just have to see the folks that live around me to understand. So, it's just what it is. It's just what it is. I live in a very, there's lots, trying to find, I just have all kind of people that live here. We have really nice houses. We have not as nice houses. Some of the nicer people live in the not as nice houses, and just a variety of people here. But because we have all those woods in the back, we do have folks that like to go out there and practice, and with their pew-pews, as I've heard people say. And so that is a little scary sometimes, frankly. So that's just what I think. I think it's a neighbor who's not very thoughtful of their other neighbors. That doesn't make them a redneck at all. That's not it at all. Um, yeah. Loud trucks and loud trucks. Yeah, we have a motorcycle. We have a loud motorcycle that likes to ride around. But at any rate, you guys, oh, same. Okay. Okay. So it is. See, it's universal. It is universal. None of us are unique. We're just like everybody else, but different. That is a thing. You guys, this has been so much fun tonight. I can't believe it's already past 8:30. It's well past my bedtime. Believe it or not, I stay up late for you guys. But it is. Kaylee, I'm so sorry about your neighbor. I am so sorry about that. Yeah, it is tough. It is tough. I'm glad you're helping take care of your neighbor. Well, everybody, I am going to wrap it up. If you have any last comments, I would love to see them down in the chat. Be sure to share that giveaway so we can get some more folks onto the channel. If you want a prize or want to tonight, make sure that you email me. Remind me of what you won and where we can mail that to. If for some reason you are outside of the United States, we'll figure that out. And I'm so glad that you had fun with us tonight. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Good night, everybody. Thank you for a lot of our first timers. We do this once a month on the first Sunday of the month. So I am very excited, super happy to be here. Thank you so much for being a part of our growing family over here. Nope, we're done. Sarah, you go and have dinner and y'all have a fantastic night. Until next time, my friends, remember to drink plenty of water, wear that high quality sunscreen, and as always, have a fantastic day and night. Bye, everybody.